I'm excited to be here to share with you and to give insights in terms of mining.
Relevant stakeholders in the mining sector, both at the national and county level, gathered today for the kickoff of the Kenya Mining Forum. The chief guest, Cabinet Secretary Petroleum and Mining John Munyes, said his ministry intends to increase the contribution of mining to the GDP from 1% to 10% by 2022. To achieve this, he said the government is putting in place strategies to attract investors.
Licensing for prospecting, mining and dealer licenses. Landowners' consent. Legislation with specific attention to inconsistencies in the Mining Act 2016 and public participation on regulations related to mining. The issue of royalties. And finally, the issue of export permits. In order to address the 5 areas of concern above, my ministry and KCM, together with the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, KEPSA, have agreed on formation of joint working groups. This process is now finalized, and serious engagements of the working groups will facilitate dialogue to help adequately address these issues going forward.
With foreign and local investment being one of the key ways of growing the sector, more incentives are being brought forth to attract investment in the mining sector. Bahati Morara, Commercial Director, Nairobi Securities Exchange Kenya, noted that the NSE has drafted and implemented incentives that will serve well the companies that are seeking to list in the mining sector.
For the other companies, what we're trying to do is look at tax incentives, for example. For example, now if today you list your company, you'll not pay stamp duty. Whether you are increasing share capital, whether you're doing any transfers, no stamp duty. That applies also to capital gains tax, so there's no capital gains tax. And then from January 2003, we've actually lowered the corporate tax for listed companies. So instead of paying 30%, you pay 25%, which is much less than what other companies pay, and this is for the first 5 years. So then if you look at the ultimate effect in your balance sheet, it's very good. And then in addition to that, any costs you incur during the IPO, we're talking about the legal costs, any other incidental costs, all that, those are tax deductible. So when you're doing your tax returns, you net them off before you compute tax.
The industry has in the recent past brought the government revenues in various forms, as explained by Abel Chumba, Chairman, Mineral Rights Board Kenya.
We find that when you make an application, there is some fees you pay. You pay application fee, you also pay what you call ground rates. And when you are granted a mining license, you will be paying royalty to the government at specified rates. They vary from one mineral to another one.
Engaging and networking.
However, the sector is not short of challenges. As the chairman of the Kenya Chamber of Mines, Dr. Cedric Simonet, highlighted, the mining laws need to be reviewed so as to level the playing field for all those who are involved.
First, the Mining Act is not investor-friendly. As much as it is a progressive piece of legislation, it still has critical flaws that prevent investment, and these flaws must be amended urgently. Secondly, the rule of law must be applied uniformly, not just to the people who are the most likely to comply. When I say applied uniformly, I don't talk only about mining and exploration company, I talk about all stakeholders. Another pressing issue is the sharing of royalties between national governments, county governments and host communities. The Kenya Chamber of Mines has been lobbying for this for over 10 years. The principle is now in the law, but for lack of regulations, this crucial measure has not been implemented yet. This is extremely urgent. This will go a long way in reducing tensions between miners, county governments and communities. We believe that the government must take a strong leadership role in addressing these issues, and the Chamber will provide all the support it can.
An agenda which they call...
The mining sector last year recorded revenues of up to 23.8 billion Kenya shillings. This is just a drop in the ocean in comparison to the mineral potential Kenya has and how much it can make from it if fully and properly explored.